Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're breaking down a framework that is going to completely change how you communicate in English. And look, it's not about memorizing a dictionary, it's about making a huge impact with the words you already know.
So let's be real for a second. Have you ever had this amazing idea, you start explaining it, and you're just met with, blank stares? You're using all the right words, but your message just isn't landing. I think we've all been there.
And here is the secret. The problem isn't your vocabulary or your grammar. It's your strategy. The real key isn't knowing more words. It's knowing how to build a bridge with the words you've got, a bridge that connects your idea directly to your listener's mind.
So let's actually give this problem a name. Let's call it the wall of misunderstanding. You know that super frustrating moment when your brilliant ideas just get lost in translation before they even have a chance to make an impact?
Yeah, you can almost hear it, can't you? That's the sound of a great idea just fizzling out. It happens when our thoughts are all jumbled and the listener just can't keep up. But don't you worry, we're about to turn that sound of confusion into a crystal clear, "Ah, I get it now."
So how do we tear down that wall? Well, our very first key, our first tool, is all about simplification. We are going to learn how to boil your message down to its most powerful, most essential form. Okay, think of an apple. It's got the skin, the flesh, the seeds, but right there in the middle you've got the core. That's your first job. Before you even open your mouth, find the single most important part of your idea. What is the one thing your listener absolutely has to understand?
And wow, check this out. This slide shows you exactly what I'm talking about. On the left, you've got this tangled mess of corporate buzzwords that sounds smart but says nothing. And on the right, a clear, sparkling diamond of an idea. It's simple, it's direct, and it is impossible to misunderstand. Now that is impact. And let's be super clear here. Simplifying is not dumbing things down. Not at all. It's about sharpening your point. A simple core idea is memorable. It shows your listener that you've done the hard work of thinking for them, and it just makes your message land instantly.
Okay, now for our second key, and this one builds directly on top of the first. Once you have that crystal clear core idea, you've got to prove it. You have to give it a solid foundation to stand on. This is such a fundamental skill. Don't just make a statement and leave it hanging there. Back it up. When you present your core idea, you need to show your listener that it's not just, your opinion. It's a conclusion that's based on evidence or logic or cold, hard facts. It's really just a simple but incredibly powerful two-step dance. First, you state your idea. Here's what I think. Then, you immediately support it. And here's why I think it. That simple little sequence builds trust, it makes you sound credible, and it really deepens their understanding.
And what's really cool is how this step just completely dismantles that wall of misunderstanding. Proving your point is what gets rid of that womp 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 sound and replaces it with that aha moment of clarity and real connection.
All right, so a simple idea with a solid foundation. That's strong. But an idea that connects on an emotional level? Well, that's absolutely unforgettable. And that brings us to our third key, you've got to connect. This is all about building a bridge, not just to your listener's mind, but to their heart. I mean, facts and logic are convincing for sure, but emotion is what makes people truly care. It's what makes your message stick with them long after the conversation is over.
This is really the core principle here. Just think about it for a second. We don't just remember a list of facts. We remember the things that made us feel something. Joy, frustration, hope, you name it. When you can tap into an emotion your listener already gets, your message becomes a part of their story.
So when you connect emotionally, you're answering that silent question that's always in the back of everyone's mind. Why should I care about this? When they feel that you get them on an emotional level, they'll want to get you too.
And finally, let's look at our fourth and final key, bringing your idea to life. It is time to paint a vivid picture in your listener's mind, using the incredible power of examples.
Let's face it, an abstract idea can be really hard to grab onto. But a story makes it real. This technique turns your point from something they just hear into something they can actually see and feel in their own mind. You're not just telling them anymore, you're showing them.
So the bottom line is this. A well-chosen story or a specific, relatable example can explain your ideas so much better than a dry list of facts ever could. It makes your message feel more personal, more believable, and it helps your listener build a mental picture of exactly what you're saying.
And there you have it, 4 powerful keys to totally transform your communication. Simplify your idea, prove it with a solid foundation, make them care by connecting to an emotion, and bring it all to life with a great example.
The big takeaway today is this: becoming a clear, confident communicator isn't about memorizing a dictionary full of words you're never going to use. It's a skill. It's something you build by intentionally structuring your thoughts to create a clear, easy-to-follow path for your listener.
So, as we wrap up, I'm going to leave you with this challenge. Think of one important idea you need to share soon. How can you use these 4 keys to make sure that this time everyone really, truly gets it? What's the one thing you're going to make crystal clear tomorrow?